Hey there, it's Mike Dance of Brookside Cloud Consulting in Austin, Texas. I just want to give you some idea of what's going on out at Cap Metro and what they're looking at approving because it doesn't make any sense at all. So as I said, this was a WebEx contact center. Basically, they decided that's what they want to go with, and they're looking to approve it any day now, and it makes literally no sense. One of the things that we look at is what they have today. It's costing about $1 million. It's all old legacy Avaya stuff. There's a workforce management solution they barely use. And just, it's just not the best solution for something like this. It's a multi-vendor ecosystem that's kept operations running, but it's created rising costs, integration challenges, and operational complexity. Not to mention it's cost them $1 million a year. That's what they want. I mean, that really doesn't make any sense for a phone system. They need somebody they can trust. So Brookside, what I've done for 24 years in Austin is help business, governments, agencies, school districts, and universities and healthcare organizations modernize their communications, strengthen their safety, and reduce operating costs through best-in-class cloud technologies and network services. So I'm based here in Austin, been here for a long time. I used to have Cap Metro as a customer for a long time when we were a Nortel dealer and they had Nortel equipment. Here's the deal. I'm requesting a procurement change because I mean they're looking at going, basically they came out with, an RFP, and an RFP has to follow, Texas, Government Code 252, the Austin City Charter, and the city's central procurement policies. And it meets none of these, which I don't understand how it's made it this far. But what happens is they only evaluated one solution, which was from Cisco Webex and from somebody that's already doing business with them called E-Consortium out of Houston. And they denied access to the RFP to people like us, with the nice product as well as, other systems. So they did a successful proof of concept with NICE, Cisco, and Ring Central in conjunction with Houston-based E-Consortium, who basically runs and owns their network for some reason. Full systems were set up and tested, and NICE had the best native integration of Teams combined with their own established industry-leading workforce management solution. So NICE provides a single vendor end-to-end solution with 100% in-house installation, training, and support, aligning with Cap Metro's operational needs and Microsoft ecosystem. That's the big difference there. But Brookside, we also sell Cisco WebEx, but not to existing team environments like Cap Metro because of the complexity and cost. So Cisco's WebEx offering does not meet the RP requirements, is significantly more complex and far more expensive, costing taxpayer thousands more per month without delivering required functionality, which means it just makes no sense. Bottom line, NICE is the compliant, simpler, lower cost, and operationally aligned choice. Cisco WebEx is non-compliant, overly complex, and unnecessarily expensive. Selecting NICE protects the taxpayers, ensures procurement integrity, and delivers the best technical outcome for Cap Metro employees and customers. I mean, that's just the bottom line. So here's what came in your board meeting yesterday. Approval of the resolution number 6. It was the number 6 amendment for them to finalize and execute a contract for 3 years with the E-Consortium Group for replacement of a Cap Metro phone system with a base 3 years, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, not to exceed 1.5 million. That's just a whole lot of money for a phone system, especially one that doesn't have everything that they need. I mean, they presented this thing and said, here are the future state capabilities, improved, forecasting and coaching and call recording and analytics and all the stuff that goes with that. That's all Calabrio stuff. Well, they just canceled their contract with Calabrio, so they don't really have a product to address that now. And it's required. And it's actually in the presentation where this is coming from your people that trying to justify it. So then down here, you have Microsoft Teams integration and unified dialing experience. It doesn't do that either. So it doesn't do any of the things. I mean, there's only five or six things here to look at, and it doesn't do any of them. So I don't understand that. Then we look at the cost. Now here's where it gets really ugly. So I want you to try to pay attention to this, to how ignorant this is, how the difference is so much. Just like I predicted, it's 3.4 times more expensive to go with a Cisco WebEx. So there's your 1.5 million over 3 years that they talked about. Here's 4 and 5 added in. We're talking about $2 million over 5 years versus 756,000 with NICE over the same period. So the increase is over here in this red column. Anything red means it's extra. And it means you're paying more than that. So, years 1 through 3, they're paying over $1 million more just to have WebEx. Okay. And once again, let me rephrase this. It does not meet their specifications that you came out with. It's so clearly, it's not worth more. It's $30,705 more a month, okay, to go this route. Look, see, here's the difference right here. See, now on the monthly, they're $43,000 versus 12. That's $30,000 more per month, right? I mean, the cost per user for NICE is $38.81 versus $133. It's $94 more expensive per user per month times 325 users. I mean, this is a lot of money, right? I mean, and they don't meet the requirements of RFP and they should be disqualified. That's the whole point of this, right? NICE has everything. These guys don't, right? I mean, bottom line, here's your NICE quote. Take a look at it. I mean, it comes down, it's all broken down. The Cap Metro guy, basically questioned that I knew what I was doing and questioned my pricing and everything. And I'm working as a reseller for the guys at NICE, and I work with them on different projects and stuff and help fulfill them some other products that are needed that they don't provide, as well as some overall good, 42 years of technical experience doing this. Anyway, that's the difference right there. That's crazy. So when you take a look at it, you got, Blue IP, which is kind of an interface to not two teams to give it native integration so that everybody's all using Teams, so it all works very well. With WebEx, you have to have WebEx and Teams on every user's desk, and it's just a mess. It's a potential disaster whenever there's a problem, because no one wants to take responsibility between Cisco and Microsoft of any kind of problems that they might have between them. It also, to reduce complexity, in confusion, is they have the soft phone embedded into Teams, right? So the NICE CX1 soft phone is embedded into Teams. Works great. So NICE is a Gartner Magic Quadrant leader for 11 consecutive years. They're the top one in this business, right? I mean, and Cisco is in the bottom down corner there, but I mean, they're definitely a good company, or were before a lot of the things that have happened recently. So the strong reason for protesting the Cap Metro RFP with Cisco is they're the only manufacturer being considered. And how you just don't do it that way. You got to get some kind of competitive quote to compare, or they'll just take advantage of you like they're doing. Cap Metro is got a Microsoft ecosystem, includes Microsoft Teams for all users. The Cap Metro RFP requires the following features and capabilities: full Microsoft Teams interoperability for 275 users with 125 agents, 50 concurrent. And then integrated workforce management with quality assurance, call recording, and screen capture. And so by the time the RFP came out, Cisco laid off over 5,000 employees and then formally announced they would discontinue support for WebEx Teams integration, as well as for Calabrio workforce management. So the proposed WebEx solution no longer meets the functional requirements outlined in RFP. So any municipality or organization that is Microsoft Teams first and has a modern contact center like Cap Metro, this should be a major red flag. I don't know why it's not. So strong reasons for testing or making the change on what vendor you choose. You got the discontinuation of WebEx Teams and the discontinuation of the contact center with Calabrio, and then all those layoffs, right? So this is what they came out with in the help center. It says, we're announcing discontinuation of Teams. That was just back on April 30th, right in the middle of when the RFP was out on the street. So, I mean, technically it worked before this came out, before April 30th. And after that, it just basically what it does, everything, before the discontinuation, they can stay inside of Teams, receive WebEx meeting links, join escalation meetings from Teams, maintain a single pane of glass for voice, chat, and meetings. Now, they're not. They're going to be able to have open multiple apps, and they're not going to have integration to the call center agents. They're not going to have any real-time presence between that and the other non-call center users. So that, I mean, basically creates a 3 to 4 app workflow, which is exactly what the public sector and enterprise customers try to avoid. I mean, this is great for your MSP, but it's not good for you or your checkbook. So the discontinuation, what does it mean? It means that, it's a mess. It adds 20 to 60 seconds to every escalation, major problem in high volume contact centers. Then you've got, the problems with in integrating into like I said, presence and IM, what's going on, so we can see what people are doing. All that stuff's all integrated with NICE, but it's just not with Teams. I mean, with Cisco Webex. Then the discontinuation of Calabrio. Calabrio is that means you're going to have 1 to 3 years with no native workforce management solution, no proven replacement, no enterprise references, and no public sector compliance validation, no parity with Calabrio's capabilities. So basically NICE has a deep integrated workforce management solution, and Cisco does not and will not, and that's one of the requirements of the RFP. I just don't get this. So basically existing ones will lose tight integration. So, it's just going to be a pain. It will not maintain these integrations, not certified new releases. They will not, customers will experience breakage after updates. Support tickets will bounce between Cisco and Calabrio, and this just creates a supportability nightmare. Once again, I don't understand how this is a solution that they want to go with, because What they're going to have to do without Collaborate is buy a third-party workforce management. That's the thing they're trying to not do is have multiple vendors in there when they don't need to. When NICE does all of it for less, it's going to be more expensive. It's going to be more complex. It's going to introduce all kinds of risk. The time of deployments are long, and then the training overhead. I mean, it's all going to be a big pain. So what Cisco's plans were after ending the Collaborate relationship is they've already launched their own workforce management, workforce engagement suite, and so. But they had it going in the right direction, but then of course they laid off everybody that had anything to do with it. So when you start looking at the layoffs, a lot of it is most all of it had to do with WebEx and WebEx products, from what I understand from my friends that work there. But while they had project delivery in late 2026 or early 2027, it's unrealistic thanks to the layoffs of key people that were involved in this project. So that's another. These layoffs really, I mean, you start looking at it. I mean, a lot of people have been getting laid off. I mean, a lot of corporate layoffs. But I mean, you don't want to line yourself up with a company that's going in this direction, though, if you don't have to. So the layoffs here, they've kind of basically, a lot of Texas agencies, they've gone with Teams, and Teams doesn't work well with the Cisco WebEx. For some reason at Cab Metro, they don't believe me when I tell them that. But if they talk to the city of Austin and some of the other people that have looked at this, they'd understand. And look at the latest Gartner, because Gartner has changed everything after all these layoffs. And I've sent that information on, but I don't know if anybody's reading anything I sent them. Anyway, so the layoffs, basically, it's just they're not going to have things that you're going to need. I mean, they can't deliver them natively as required by the RFP, so it does not meet the requirements. I mean, I keep saying that. Here's all the people that were laid off. These are what their core relevance was to WebEx call center. I mean, it's just a lot of key people, have been let go. So the other part of this, protest too, is how can Cap Metro justify doing business with a company like Cisco, who has a long history of being dishonest, working with the cities like Dallas, Austin, Houston? They've been busted several times after spending and then spend 3.4 times more, 3.4 times actually, on a WebEx solution that doesn't meet the specs. What are you going to tell the taxpayers and the board? I don't understand. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. When you do this just to chat GPT, did Cisco get caught bribing city officials at the city of Dallas and the city of Houston? Yes. Face legal allegations regarding bribery. The company was accused of engaging in corrupt practices and secure contracts to gain favorable treatment in public projects. These allegations were included private gifts, travel, and other incentives to officials. I mean, these guys have been notorious for doing this for years and to get away with it. Then you ask the next question. Did Cisco get in trouble with the city of Austin in the past? Yeah, okay, sure. It's issues with the city of Austin in the past. One notable incident was 2018 when the city filed a lawsuit against Cisco over a contract dispute related to a $4 million project aimed at upgrading the city's public safety communication system. The city claims Cisco failed to deliver the promised services and equipment. This is also another pattern that they have, promising the moon and then not delivering it. And how much has Cisco paid in fines and settlements tied to their business dealings? Let's just say a lot. 2009, there's one there at 48 million, 8.6 million, 56 million in fines and settlements specifically related to allegations. I mean, who cares if it's true or not? I mean, it obviously is if they're paying that much money to settle. I don't know. And then has E-Consortium, the little MSP, the Indian-based DSP out of Houston, ever been in trouble with the state of Texas and Department of Information Systems? Yes. Face scrutiny on legal challenges involving Texas, state of Texas, and the DIR, contract disputes, yada, yada, yada. I mean, it's all stuff that's in there. Then the other thing they skipped right over is they had nothing. Didn't say anything in the RFP. No one's talked to me at any given time, even though I've asked about AI. Where does that fit into all this? Well, I mean, we start talking about AI at Cab Metro. You're talking about intelligent routing, the transit specific needs, and AI routing engine can do that for you, from trip planning and loss and found, safety. Just take a lot of these calls. And yeah, that's going to take some people's jobs, but you have 140 call center agents you're just about to spend money on at a couple of $100 a piece a month. And does that really make sense? Is that what's best for the citizens when everyone today is using some form of a self-service model to be able to allow people to get what information they need when they need it and not having to answer with a live person like you're doing today. So, I mean, you see AI is going to give you, it's going to optimize the workforce. It's going to, optimize your forecasting, your scheduling and all that. I mean, it's got, self-service for the riders. They'll be able to, get their information that they need. And I'm not saying you can always talk to a live person. We're not trying to cut that off, but we're just trying to say there's a lot of things that don't need a live person. And therefore, how many people do we actually need? Why are you buying 140 call center agents? That's just crazy for today's technology situation. Anyway, so basically what's going to happen here is, it's a lower cost, lower complexity, higher reliability. That's the bottom line. I mean, you start looking at grants. Grants were not considered. I mean, there's so many grants that have to do with safety that dovetail into stuff like the call center and, different things. So these guys here, they get some of the tools and stuff that they need to get, which can be covered with grants. Those same grants can help also justify the phone system and maybe even the call center stuff. And you start looking at emergency management, and you start looking at real-time crime center, which is what they really need. That helps them really manage all of their videos and that come from all the ring cams and things of that nature. But this, it's really what all the law enforcement's going to is a real-time crime center, because how do you take all this evidence and make it, where it's easy to manage and move around and put in the right buckets and stuff. Anyway, so then you start looking at, what grants are available. The Office on Violence Against Women, they provide money for, things of this nature. They're part of the DOJ, I think. And there's some stuff with the DOJ that also does it. I mean, there's, the modernization also could be a part of that is, the getting into some of the FEMA money, and the Homeland Security, making things safer, things like, license plate reading, facial recognition, different things, that can be part of a system that all brings it all together. So then this is the cool one, the Transit Security Grant Program, it's for public transportation systems, just like Gov Metro, who knows, but you can use it for license plate reading, weapon detection, real-time crime center. It's all money that'll pay for this stuff. And this can be included as part of the phone system. I mean, it doesn't make sense if you don't go, if the government money is available for this and you don't use it. And that hadn't even been looked at from best I can tell. I mean, I don't know. Nobody communicates with me, so I'm guessing in some cases. And then TxDOT got some money too, but that can be used towards transit agencies over the next few years. It's all money that can help make things easier on you guys. Even because, I mean, even Greg Abbott's got some money out there for you. Some grant funding is made possible through a combination of federal and state dollars. And they're managing anything to do with making the place more, safer, and that works out great. So anyway, that's Brookside Cloud Consulting, voice over IP and Microsoft Teams, customer experience stuff, conversational AI, things of that nature, emergency management, high-speed internet, all those things. We've been helping everybody since 2002, and we'd love to help you. I'd love to see if we could turn this around and make this a nice deal instead of a Cisco deal that's going to be a super pain. But the ball's now in your court. Thank you.